San Jose State. Best year in years. So what makes them much better than they've been?
Well, they've got experience, and they got an experienced coach. It starts with that, and he's worked hard to get the right guys there and to keep them. He's kept some good ones, and they gave us a challenge in here last year. We only played them one time last year, and they were good. I saw that all through, when I was scouting them before, when I was like, they're a lot closer than people think, and they had a lot of games where they were right there, and now they've added a few pieces, and they've built on, had some time to build on it for a while, and they're a good team. I mean, I think they're a kind of a microcosm of this league. You got everybody that's good. You're looking around, and I think I haven't played them all yet. We haven't gone through the gauntlet yet and done all that, and maybe it's just because it's all right in front of me right now, but I swear I think from top to bottom it's the best it's ever been. Because, there were some years where at the bottom there were some games that you knew that if you got the bus there on time, you were going to win. It was just a matter of, was it by 20 or 30 or, whatever. There's none of that this year. None. Not one of those. And it's going to create maybe one of the most interesting leagues to watch in the country, and you throw that in we couple with how hard it is to play on the road and get any wins on the road. I mean, look at New Mexico and Wyoming, and you got supposedly a top 25 team, and team that's going through some struggles, and I mean, Wyoming basically won that game. It was just down to the last two possessions or whatever. But I think that's what you're seeing in the league right now is so many good teams. And look what San Jose's done the last 2.5, 3 weeks is they beat a really good Santa Clara team on the road. They beat UNLV, and now they went on the road and beat Colorado State. I mean, that's saying something. That's doing something, not just, we're close, we're good. No, that's getting it done. And credit to them and their guys, and they're going to be, I hate the term the hard out, because that acts like they're not a good team. No, they're going to be in contention is what they're going to be.
Is it, I think you've said this, but it seems like the winning team could be 14-4 or 13-5 this year. I mean, do you expect teams to all beat up on each other?
I do, but you never know how the dust settles that way, and it's all, who, sometimes in league too, it's not who you play, it's when you play them. All of a sudden, a top team gets a key guy out. It makes all the difference in the world. And so, it might change the standings a little bit. You just never know how. So you can't account for that. But, when you think back to last year, I mean, we were pretty dang dominant. We beat San Diego State 3 times and beat Nevada 3 times. We did some dominant things. We had 3 losses. It just seems like there's going to be 4 or 5 maybe, unless one team can kind of sneak away. But I think everybody else is going to be in a big jumble, and so it's just a matter of going out and finding a way in that next one.
How important is home court in this league?
Yeah, it's so important because, you guys that have traveled with us, you see what it's like out there on the road and why it's so, I saw a great clip, I think it was a Carolina Pitt game, like, this is why it's hard to win on the road. And, you just see some things on the road that you're like, oh boy, no wonder it's so hard. Yeah. I mean, I don't want to throw shade or anything, but I'm like, yeah, I get it. It's real. And, there's just a lot you have to overcome, and you have to play an A+ game. Because if you were playing all these games on neutrals, you'd have to play an A+ game or an A game to get a win against any of these teams, no doubt about it. Now you throw in all the stuff that comes with playing on the road. But yeah, home court has always been really, really important in this league to get it done. And maybe it takes on even more importance this year when it's going to be even harder no matter where you go.
Do you feel like Marcus Shaver is back to 100%, or is he still working on getting
I felt really good about sometimes you don't have any control of your schedule, and the bye comes when it comes. I felt really positive about having it now because, it's tough. I've learned over the years, you try to, hey, we're getting this guy back. He practiced for 30 minutes. He's going to go out and play great. That rarely happens. And I thought Marcus played really good especially considering he basically was out for a month without practicing, and his timing had to be so off, and his conditioning, because you're like, okay, you can't condition him that well when has the injury that he had. And so I was really amazed how well he played, because I've fell for that before. We're like, okay, we're going to be great, we got this guy back, and it's just not fair to the player, really. And so, that being said, the bye came at maybe a perfect time, and we got a couple practices, and he got to get his timing. He got to work through some stuff and get his timing with the guys, because you got to remember, you forget about this factor. Everybody's role changes without Marcus, and then now you got to figure out back to your old role or back to a different. That's hard on a team and hard on individuals, and you expect them. They're not robots; they're college kids, and that's a lot to deal with. And so, proud of Marcus and the way he played. Proud of the team, the way they battled, and last month, we talked about it some. I'm hoping that got a bunch of guys better, and we'll see. Time will tell with that, but. I just, this team needs him. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. You can, from day we scrimmaged Oregon, and Dane and I were talking after the game. He's like, well, as long as number 10's out there a lot, you're going to be, and that's true. He's a great player, and, he's one of the best players in the league, no doubt about it. And there's a lot of good players in this league, and he's right there.
What have you seen defensively the last couple of games? Obviously, you give up 70 plus. They're hitting more threes than usual. And you guys, what are you seeing?
Yeah, we got to get back to doing what we do really well, and I think that's where getting on the practice floor helped us too. I have a saying with our guys that our issues are our issues until we confront them, until we get better at them, and we give up more threes than we usually give up, and so that's an issue. Yeah, it's getting, those were two good shooting teams, and teams that can bang in a lot of threes. And so, but you got to be great defensively to be able to, you're not going to stop them from making all their threes, but you got to eliminate some of them. And we had too many uncontested ones in that second game.
As the season's gone on, what have you seen from Bozo as he kind of finds his
the exciting thing for me is he knows he's growing, and he knows he's getting better and better and better. And it's funny because when Abu leaves, he's at his best. His last 20 games here were the best he's ever played in his whole life, and so you think, well, maybe Bozo could pick up where he left off. Well, that's not fair to him, really, as far as it took Abu a long time to get to that, to learn shot selection, to learn. He always played hard and he ran around, but to learn how to be in the right spots and defensive positioning, and then how not to settle. All those things that just take time to teach, and it takes experience. It takes game experience to teach that. And he had very, very little game experience for 2 years. And so he said it to me the other day. He goes, I swear, every time out, every game, I'm learning new stuff. And so the sky's the limit for this kid. He's going to be a great player. He already is a really good player here, but he's got a chance to be great because of how hard he works and how he wants to learn and all that kind of stuff. So, I want him to be, way ahead, and because I know where he can end up, and it's our job as coaches to get him there as quickly as we can without, again, that's that extreme patience, wanting instant results, but sometimes that's what you have to have, is that every day you have to have that extreme patience with those guys, and being able to coach them every single day, and whether it's games or practices. And that's the great thing about Bozo. He wants to be coached.
He told us you guys are, I don't know if it's a big thing or small thing, we was talking about like not fouling in practice and working on technique and stuff and trying not to foul, I guess. And maybe I don't know if you've been doing that at all or one day or whatever he was talking about. But just in general, you mentioned the margin for error for this team not being super big with due to the bench and stuff. I guess how much do you need your main players to be on the floor at the end?
Yeah, that's huge. you can't waste a couple fouls, because then all of a sudden there is no margin for then you can oh, that foul, that was a terrible call or whatever, you feel bad about like the fifth foul, but it was the second or third foul where he reached in for no reason. Those are the ones you have to eliminate, and that's nothing new. I mean, that's what we work on, and to educate these guys of how valuable that is. And it wasn't the last foul that fouled you out. It was the one that you reached in on a rebound that you weren't going to get, and just picked up a needless one that nobody even remembers because they didn't even shoot free throws on, but it really cost you at the end of the game. And you had two of your best players out down the stretch, and that's tough. That makes it really tough, and that puts guys in hard positions.
What did you make of that kind of final stretch in that game, like just back and forth with the buckets and stuff, and then could you have done anything defensively different in the final play?
Yeah, we could have, no doubt. I mean, obviously when the guy goes and gets a lay-in, then you could have done something differently.
Well, I just didn't know if it was just a tough matchup for Pavle.
It was a really tough matchup, no doubt, but we have a system, and the system doesn't leave a guy on an island, and that's we need better team defense, and our guys, we learn. There's, like I said, you looked out at that end lineup, there's a lot of inexperience on the floor, and you want them to, like I said, pick up where the other guys left off, but that's not fair. They haven't had that experience. And so you're always, no doubt, as coaches, you second guess what decisions, and as players you second guess yourself, and everyone's kicking themselves, and because these guys put a lot into it, and everybody does. And so we're disappointed when we lose, and we hate it. There's no other way to put it. It's our lives. It's what we do 24/7, and I think that's they care a lot. We all care a lot about that. And so nobody did anything on purpose, no doubt about it. They want to do the right things. Great opportunity to learn, and like I said, we have to correct that for us to be a good team, no doubt. We have to, for us to be a great team. I think we're a good team now, but we got to be a great team in this league.
San Jose State hasn't had a winning record since 2010-11, but how do you explain to fans that they're a good team this year and that they should come and fill up the arena?
Well, first should always be about the Broncos, supporting the Broncos, and I think we have great fans that do that. They come and support us, but now let's help us get through tough. These are going to be tough games, every single one of them. Like you said, the home court's so important, and the fans at the home court are so important. They influence things, and they give the team energy, and they've helped us through wins here where maybe if we came out flat, the fans got us going, and it affected the way we play. We've won games because of it, and so it means everything. And we've got some of the best fans in the country, and this place is one of the toughest places to play when you get people here and you get the energy going. It's awesome. And so that's how I would say it. And you're going to see every game from here on out. You're going to see a great college basketball game, and you're going to see two great teams. You're going to see great coaches. You're going to see, everything's going to be high level, and we're going to have everything that we do at a high level to compete. And so I guess that's the most important thing, is that first of all, I appreciate everybody coming out, and secondly, let's make this the hardest place to play.